You have to be able to beat it fairly quickly. Fight ourselves some pirates. Boss fight number 2. Sleep all of the pirates. That's strategy here. We got 4 of them. We got 3 of them because killed one of the ones that were asleep. Now we want to focus on the ones that are awake. I haven't played this game with the full party in a long time. Especially if we stop to actually farm up the equipment. Retain a ship. White map. So in case you missed that, we now have ourselves a boat. Invis. Most of these aren't super. They're useful. They're not super necessary, I guess. We have everything that we absolutely just skip this town and get upgrades. Elfheim, probably even better. Fights. We're down here. Around here, we have some good experience fights. There's ogres. What I remember playing solo, at least. Ogres should give pretty good money and XP. We run into them. Yeah, they're for about 20. Head into town and get an idea of how much money we're going to need. Before we move on to the next dungeon, I would like to pick up a couple antidotes because there's some enemies on the way there that can poison you. And I'd like to get some weapon and armor upgrade. Really? Oslia. They give pretty good XP. Well, that's gonna put. It costs more and more the higher level the enemy, higher level the ally, the more it costs to revive him. Get a saber here. Which is actually cheaper than the weapons that were in the last town. It's actually better. Wish they would actually show you numbers instead of just, well, it's better than what you have now. Places. Alright, so Fira is 1,000. We're gonna want that for farming because it hits every enemy. That's definitely. Here lies Link. Right there. Fira, a bigger heal. Gara's a bigger undead. Blaze heal. Heal hits is the AoE heal. No Blaze is here. No shock. You know the boss you're fighting and what element they do. Armor for him. He's cheap. Attack is 19. Take these off, it's 15. Their cap. Defense is 3, evasion 56. Puts it to 6. And it's better as a this town actually has shops. Alright, they have haste here. We're definitely going to want that too. Another one of the big buff spells. It basically doubles the hits you. Sorry. Good stuff here. Let's hit up the real quick. Which will cost 100 a night. Big steep jump up from like the 30 that we were playing across the water. Paying for that could. Godly Snack, welcome to the stream. Everything's so expensive, even the beds at the end. That was a weird thing in RPGs. Like, the ends get exponentially more expensive the farther you get into the game. And like, probably kind of economy that supports that. Like, you know that I can stay at an inn for 10 gold, like an hour's walk down the road. Yeah, well, it's 30 here, and then you get to the next town, and it's 100, and you're like, so like, it was 10, and it's 30, and it's 100, it's like, well, this is a nicer town. Then you get to like a dumpy little podunk town later in the game, and it's like, well, here it's 2,000 gold to stay. But I don't, like, look, just pay it. Some games give you good incentive to stay at the end. This one, you get your HP and MP back and do it. You don't like walking all the way back to quickly every time you want. Or like Tales games, like Tales of Berseria, Tales of whatever. It skits staying at an end, so you didn't really want to stay at every end to possibly trigger a skit. But then there are some games where like staying at the end is like practically pointless. Like you have other methods of getting HP and MP back, and it's like, why am I staying at this end? Dumb. It's like I feel like you put ends in this game just because RPGs are supposed to have ends. Banking on the steep price of tints, right? For now, maybe that makes sense. Now, tints in some Final Fantasies are amazing. I mean, this one they'll heal you, sure. But like, Final Fantasy IX, you could use tints offensively. If you throw a tint at like a boss, it puts a crap ton of status ailments on them. I don't know the logic of that, or if it's a glitch, or how that's supposed to work, but like, you can use tints as like a debuff bomb on some bosses. I don't remember the exact details of it, but I remember it's like, it's like, okay, we're up against this boss, he's usually pretty hard, but throw a tint at him and now he's like poisoned, blinded, and confused. And I don't know why that does that, but hey, now the boss is going to be pretty easy, The level. News is although the prices are somewhat steep here, ogres drop a fair amount of money, and we had fear already, right? And while we're farming up the money that we need to buy all those spells, we're also going to end up getting quite a few levels. We need to pick up that black magic spell as soon as possible. Not that this fight is hard, these guys don't hit that hard. This fight just takes time. Whereas if we had the black magic spell, we could hit all 8 of them at once, and they'd go away, and the fight would be over, and we could move on to getting more XP. The big downside of this fight right now is just how long it's going to take me to go through kill them all. Traumatized as a kid on a camping trip. I like this theory. It's our new headcanon. And like, not just one boss, though, like a lot of them. So like, they must have all gone on this camping trip together. It was like a summer camp. Because Final Fantasy bosses, they all go to the same summer. It wasn't like a nice something. It was like Camp Crystal Lake or something. I feel like someone needs to make a webcomic that is Final Fantasy bosses at a summer camp. Somehow that'll end up being... I can't write it myself. I could feel that being funny. Would ogre cheap. Good old palette swap over. Hit slightly harder, gives slightly better rewards. Green, so it's strong like Hulk. We have enough money to go buy Fira, so I think we're going to go ahead and do that, just to start running any more of those wolf. Oh my god. Red mages can't cast Fira? For life right now? Red mage? Not like jumping up and down. My magic level's too low, that's why. I'm not high enough level to catch. Level 3. So what level do we get that at? in like this one they switched to MP, but they still have spell levels, and you still do have to get to a certain level before you can cast a certain spell. Level we unlock level. Yeah, I was almost 100% certain they could cast it. I was freaking out for a second there. I was like, I know I can cast Temper, and that's really the only spell that I absolutely care about, but like, sure would be nice. As long as he can cast Temper, we're good. That's the only spell that matters. Buy the spell, let's spend money elsewhere. Doing this less for the money and more just to clean. Go ahead and head out and keep finding. There's also one neat little trick that we could do because we're playing this on an emulator right now. I like to call that a programmer move right there. That's gonna save all of us. Yeah. Playing a game like Final Fantasy, it's like, okay, I'm gonna put in my attacks, and then 1,000. That was like 10 seconds, and they didn't even do all the attacks. He died first. Like, it takes so long for them to actually, like I'm just sitting here watching for most of it. Instead, you can just put in the attack. Actually, buy. If we could go ahead and buy Poisona, but I think it is both outside of our price range. Much do. Since our 160. Right about that one. That, or I don't think poison actually kills you, does it? I'm trying to find out. No, it won't actually kill. We're gonna go ahead and pay the 100 instead of paying 50 for the poison antidote, and then God knows how much to heal everybody back up to full. We'll just pay 100. Oh, it doesn't get rid of poison. Stayed at the inn overnight, and the poison's like, oh, you're awake? Let me start right back up. Alright, so we're definitely gonna get poisoned too. Just for... Go take a bunch of... Yeah. I can't think of another game where resting at the end doesn't get rid of poison. Oh, in some games, resting at the end gets rid of being dead. You know, well, not this one, but some games. I like to use the fast forward button when I have to, but when I'm literally just grinding, I don't mind. Especially for a game like this that I've already beaten 5 times. I have a webcam that I like never use. I was playing around with like a cool webcam. Oh, it was fun. Like, oh, fun to me. Yeah. Turn that off. I don't know about Poison, but it started up a Final Fantasy stream on Steam a few days ago. Our Steam doesn't get rid of some of the other side effects like petrification. It also doesn't get rid of any. Kind of makes sense because in that game you make yourself all or toaded on purpose for certain parts of the story. Kind of unique Final Fantasy, I think. Like there's parts of Final Fantasy 3 where you have to like turn yourself into a frog to go through the sewers, or turn yourself into a miniature person to go into the town of the miniature people. Something that I also had to do in Trials of Mana the other day. Oh, you're at that part right now, yeah. It really changes it up a bit. Like, you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll switch to mage classes for now, because physically you kind of suck when you're, you know? But you're playing the version on Steam, right? Playing like the sort of 3D remake Final Fantasy, right? And in the original version, when you switched jobs, you became like useless for like a certain number of fights before your character like reacclimated to that job. And you so you would have to like stagger your character switching jobs. If you switched them all at the same time, then you sort of had to like get over the job change. And there was like a cooldown period before you could change. Yeah, it was a smartphone. No, I think it's on the DS too. I think there's a DS. I think I think I own it on the DS. I have so many copies of the different Final Fantasy games. Square Enix loves me. I swear, they put out a Final Fantasy game on a new console, and I probably end up. Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 7. I have so many copies of them. Final Fantasy 6. I've got Final Fantasy 1 on the NES, on the let me get this right, on the Game Boy Advance, on my PSP, on the PSN store, on my PlayStation 1 in the version of Final Fantasy Origin. I've got it on Steam. No, not Final Fantasy 1. I have it on a lot of places. That's just one. Oh, the Steam port was specifically from the smartphone. That's... Okay. The version of Final Fantasy VI that ended up on Steam was also like the smartphone version of it. It's so unfortunate because it's got like this weird, like, I don't know, it's like, it's not remake graphics, but it's not normal graphics. It's like sort of this weird in between. It just doesn't look good graphics. Like, it doesn't have like the old schoolness of the original 16-bit graphics, but it also doesn't have like the look and feel of like a new thing, and like all the graphics kind of just don't fit into their own environment. So like the characters kind of stand out from the backgrounds too much. And it was, I'm pretty sure, smartphone, a mobile version of the game ported to it. Like, I would have rather they gave us the Game Boy Advance port than that one. I've played Final Fantasy 3 on both, I'm gonna say DS, I think it was on DS. On whatever it came out on first, and on the theme. And I feel like there wasn't very much difference between them. So if it was the mobile version, at least it didn't feel that different. Yeah, that's about right. Not the worst thing in the world, but that's the right level. Okay, we're level 10 now, so I'm hoping that means we can those spells. Yeah, look, you see, we can see that my white mage has level 3 spells. It's lit up. Let's check. Yeah, okay, so we can learn level 3 spells now. Let's go grab Fiora. The rest of these aren't really important. Bother with them right now. Level 3 pure magic. Want to get stronger heal. Get the AoE heal. I'd like to give him the stronger heal as well. And I'll probably give her Null Blaze. Go check the... I think the other shops are level 4 magic, right? This is level 4 magic. Lord knows what level we need to be to cast level 4 magic. Poison is also level 4. You wouldn't think that the spell to get rid of poison would be level 4. You think that's kind of a... The Curing Silence, Curing Poison, those are level 4. You're gonna guess level 20 for level 4? I don't think it's gonna be that high.